What's good, y'all? GI channel, UTHH Don, and back again we have A9, Nomad, and TBH. And
What up? What up? What up? What up?
we got an interesting question from one of our Twitter followers, and they asked us, what do we consider to be a freestyle, and what is it considered niggas just rapping that the actual verses, but just not to a beat, and then we hear it later on a mixtape or an album. This has been one of the questions that it's kind of really simple, but I guess it's been interpreted differently. It actually definitely has over the past like 15 some years, probably more than that. What's actually considered a freestyle, but I'll let Anon start this off. What do you consider to be like an actual freestyle, like off of the top of the dome, or do you have a different definition of what you consider it?
An actual freestyle, off the top of the dome. I guess the only way I could kind of like say is it's anything different is if it's like a brand new verse that you have memorized that you don't plan on using anything else besides like that situation, then I guess you could like kind of get a pass. But to me, freestyle has always been like improvise, like just go, like, so that's what that is to me. The reason why I say like in certain situations it's pass is like you're not gonna go to Sway and just like straight up just make shit up because your shit might be trash, especially if you're upcoming. It's like you gotta bring it, so you're gonna probably prepare and make sure, like, even if it is halfway improvised, you're gonna kind of know what you're gonna say, like, so that's where I'm saying you can kind of give it a pass, like if it's a super important situation. But like the minute you break out a paper or BlackBerry or any sort of shit like that, then it's not a freestyle, at least not to me. It's just,
was that a shot at Drake?
no. Just
got verses on my BlackBerry. Where did that BlackBerry ever go? It's a mystery. No, man. So do you feel the same way as A9?
Yes, I do, because I'm let my age be known, 36. So my uncle's a DJ, and he always told me somebody that can just spit off top of their head, that's what you really call a freestyle. And I asked him about like today's rappers and using phones and saying these are throwaway writtens that I'm not going to use as a consider a freestyle, and it's not. I'm just like off the top of the head. If you can flow off the top of the head, then that's a freestyle because you just coming out with stuff out of air. You know what I'm saying? But if you got something written down, that's a pre-written. You know what I'm saying? So now I can see it's hard. It's debatable where like you might hear them freestyle it and then they might use it in a song later. So that's kind of debatable. But for the most part, what Anon said, a freestyle is off the top. A written, using your phone or something, that's a pre-written, dog.
Okay. TBH, any thoughts?
I'm kind of on the fence, like, cause I'm like, no, I listen. I agree that a freestyle is something that's off the top of the head, but at the same time, I'm an advocate for just being entertained. I don't give a fuck. Like, if you got your BlackBerry out, like you got your phone out, you're just reading lyrics, then yeah, that's whack. But if you're just spitting like throwaway writtens, I can't really be mad at it because at the end of the day, I just want to be entertained. And like, to be honest, I feel like the older generation of hip hop heads is kind of harder on this new generation as far as freestyling goes, because they'd be like, oh, we didn't do that back in my day, we used the Curtis Blow, we used to all come off the top of the head, and that's bullshit. It's not true. Everybody spits throwaway writtens, and if you don't believe me, you do your research. You go back and listen to some of the old Nas, I don't know if it was Hot 97, but some of the old Nas radio interviews where he was freestyling. 100% of that content was Illmatic. This nigga just what's the word? He remixed he took certain lyrics from certain songs and threw it and just mixed and matched different lyrics and shit. But he quote unquote freestyled Illmatic all over the radio, and it's like, are we gonna disrespect Nas because he did that?
I see what you're saying.
That's actually a good question. No, I mean, I don't see anybody that would, but yeah, I mean, people have been doing this for a while, but that's actually a very, very good example.
Nothing new.
Of what ended up happening. Yeah.
Like, do y'all honestly believe, like, y'all remember back in the early 2000s when Cameron used to go up to Hot 97 with Dipset, and then like, what was old boy J.R. Ryder did that 1 hour freestyle? You honestly believe he was freestyling for an hour?
Nah.
That's a lot of content.
and people gave him his clout, though. Like, everybody that was coming up and freestyling. So my thing is, like, for me, I just look at it as, is it entertaining? That's the main thing I look for. But I agree with y'all that it should be off the top of the head. But I can't be mad at the same. Like I'm indifferent. I don't give a fuck. I guess.
I mean, the way I see it is like, it don't matter. It's just like, if you're trash, it's gonna be trash whether you write it or not. You know what I'm saying? But if you're good, you just might not be a good freestyler. It just might be harder for you to come up with it like off the top. But like, if you sit down and write it, it might be something crazy. So it's like, how can you dismiss somebody that can't come up with something immediately, but they can come up with something if they sit down for 5 minutes? I mean, because if you really can judge them, then you freestyle. It's not as easy as it looks. So like, for people to like judge other people on that standard, I'm like, try it for yourself and have all that pressure on you and try and make it hot as fuck and not bullshit.
Oh no. Yeah, it'll be tragic.
Yeah, before you really like judge other people for having like pre-writtens or like something at least semi-prepared when they go on the radio. Because like, how many times have we seen it in hip hop where somebody goes on the radio, makes a damn fool of themselves freestyling, and was it Mystical? Fight the bear, like, or some shit like that.
Well, Mystical is different.
The bear better be scared of me.
But I'm saying, how many rappers have gone on the radio and like made like fools of themselves, like freestyling? It's like, you really gonna like get on them if they have something prepared?
I equate freestyling to
I don't get on them.
Improv theater. Like, most people cannot do improv, and freestyling is the same thing. So I feel like you shouldn't. I feel like it shouldn't. I think the problem is too many people expect everybody. Oh, you're a rapper. I'm a rapper, but I never said I was. Freestyling and rapping are two different skills.
Yeah, a lot of people can write their ass off, but thinking of it on the top of the dome, that's it. Like, you kind of have to have a craft for that. And we only see that like certain people can do it like flawlessly, and some people can't. Some people do like have like elementary ass lyrics whenever they're freestyling, but that's okay though. Like, if you're entertained, you're entertained. Here's my theory on it. While I do agree with you, Adon, that freestyling is off the top of the dome. Here's the real difference, and a lot of people forget about like the actual definition of like freestyling versus free verse, because like freestyling is like literally like showing your style, but it's like off the top of the dome, like you and I can agree in like at some point that you do like remember it, but it's like making shit up as you go. That's what I consider freestyling. Now, what people are doing, and again, this is the thin line between freestyling and what is called free verse, is like literally like if you're rapping something that you written or that you probably did remember, but maybe still written down, but you're like rapping it without a hook, without an actual beat. Like, you're just rapping a verse. Like, it's a like a literal free verse. So that's what that is. But a lot of people do consider that freestyling. And while I agree, like, these are two definitions, like these are two different definitions, in my opinion, of what they actually are. So that's again what a lot of people are doing, and y'all hit the point where like a lot of people just don't know how to freestyle, and that's okay. I don't really knock anybody for it, but
why is it such a big deal? Like, are y'all buying albums for whether or not the person can freestyle? Like, I don't get it.
They're not buying albums, period.
Right? But they be the main ones that be criticizing people.
Yeah, they want to complain and critique things. You know what I'm saying?
But these are the same people that don't care about lyrics, period.
Right.
So like I don't know why they're so mad. Like, I know a lot of people that like somebody, and you're like, oh, well, this person is better than this person, but it's like, what are we basing this off of? Are we basing this off of production, or are we basing this off of actual lyrical content?
The ones who do care about lyrics, and they do care about someone being able to freestyle off the top of the head every once in a while when they go to the radio station, and they do it off the top of the head, they be like, oh, that shit is so whack. It's kind of like it's like all these chicks on Instagram, they got all these fake boobs and these fake titties, and niggas be on Twitter talking about, oh, I love a natural chick. It's to the point where it's like these niggas can't even tell the difference between what's real and what's fake. It just confuses me. I don't know if I that made sense. No.
Right.
But whatever.
No, it did.
What's in it?
And then another thing, like, I don't know if y'all remember, like, there was a point in time when like Lil Wayne was bringing out mixtapes like left and right, and he was coming on shows and stuff, and even like sometimes on his actual mixtapes, he'll like rap something, and then like some months later you'll hear it on his album, or you'll hear that same verse on a radio station or something, and people are like trying to almost like, get at his head like with the pitchforks about it. But like
Jay-Z did the same shit. If you go listen to his old radio freestyles,
Wayne's not the only one, but I'm saying like it's happened a lot. It's definitely happened a lot. But people are like literally like, man, like, you ain't the greatest rapper alive, man. Like, you just rap this shit and then you put a beat to it, and now it's on this mixtape.
For me, freestyling is like, if you can do it, cool. But if you can't, I don't care. Because at the end of the day, if you're a rapper, what I look for is whether or not you can rap. Like, if you like, if I tell you to rap on the spot and you spit some writtens that I haven't heard before, as long as it's impressive, that's all that matters to me, because I'm just looking to be entertained. Like, I'm a strong believer in first impressions matter. Like, you cannot make a first impression twice. So, like, what got me into Tory Lanez music is I seen him on Sway in the Morning multiple times, kill that shit. I was like, yo, let me go listen to what this dude's got to say. And, like, I knew some of that shit was written, but I didn't care because it's written. But it's like, okay, well, if he can do that on a freestyle, let me see how he can structure a song. So to me, it's like everything you do, you're a walking advertisement. You shouldn't care about the minority that care about freestyling, because it's not that serious.
Exactly.
It really ain't. If you can rap, you can rap. If you can't, you can't. And that is that simple. You can write shit down. It can still be
trash. If you're trash, it doesn't matter if you freestyle it right. It doesn't matter.
Like, I would like to see, like, some of these people, like, especially I hate to go back to it again, but the mumble rappers, like, are you actually writing down, like, these lyrics? Like, it's pretty funny. Like I would like to see, like, a live studio session of you writing this.
Well, every rapper nowadays claims that they don't write their lyrics. Ever since Jay-Z said that, everybody claims they don't write, which I don't believe.
Right. They do a lot. They do a lot. There's some of them might not write. Like, for example, like Jay-Z doesn't write down right over. Then Lil Wayne said he don't do it, but what Lil Wayne did, he would punch his lines in. Like he'll spit something, then stop, then have to go back and punch it in again. Punching another line behind.
That's what they all did.
Technically, right, exactly. So technically, he didn't write anything down, but he didn't just go straight, from beginning to end.
Like, I find that almost impossible to do that.
Exactly.
It sounds inefficient.
Especially if you have a huge catalog. And then on top of that, like, if you're going on tours and stuff, and making club appearances,
you got that's a
lot of lyrics to remember. Like, do you remember, like, all of your stuff? Like, of course you don't have, like, as big of a catalog as Wayne, but, like, you remember all of your shit?
I have fucking 6 mixtapes and an album. You think that I remember all of my lyrics? Like, I have literally, like, over 100 songs. Like, nah, bro. Sometimes I have to, before shows, I have to remind myself of certain songs. I'm like, okay, cool.
Right, and that's what I would expect you to do. That's rehearsing. That's remembering your lines. Pretty much like you
come out there like Milli Vanilli.
Right. And then, people get their stuff masked because they have the actual song playing in the background, just in case if they forget their lyrics.
Just in case they forget. That's a lot of them.
And be like, hey, so many people do that. I know the tricks. But that's what people do. I don't expect them to, though. I'm not mad at them for doing it.
I just had the epiphany, like, all the people who are upset about quote unquote rappers who claim what they're doing and you see in these YouTube videos as freestyling. My question to y'all is, do y'all think we should even be upset with the rappers, because they're not the ones that are editing the videos and throwing it up and calling it a freestyle? That's the person uploading the video. That's Sway. That's Hot 97. They're the ones calling it a freestyle. We don't know if the artist called it a freestyle.
Yeah, that's 100% correct. They're just labeling everything as a freestyle, and while it's not.
So you think we should come up with a new word?
I mean, like I said, nigga, that's free verse.
There you go.
But people don't use that word. Everybody just labels everything as a freestyle. They just chuck everything together. So I think that's kind of where the confusion, became bigger too. Is everybody just calling this shit a freestyle, but it ain't.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
What's the name? What's the 4 pillars of hip hop? What is it? B-boy, graffiti, rapping, DJ. I feel like freestyling falls under rap, but it's like it's I don't want to call it obsolete, but it's just not as important anymore, I don't think. Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
I agree.
So how about that? Catch me outside.
Bye.
Catch you inside.
Damn, you ain't gonna tell people to hit the like button? Damn,
nope. Hit the like button.